Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fetch Quest podcast, where we talk about video games and more. I'm your host, Guy, joined by my fellow co-host, Connor.
Guy, we have a problem.
What's wrong? We're in the middle of a recording.
They... Oh my god, let me catch my breath.
Oh, spit it out. Come on, we have to record, man.
Some tiki dudes, they stole all our bananas.
What?
Okay, I know that sounds bad, and that's because it is.
Oh! No one steals my bananas! No! My bananas! Mine! We need to go get them back. Oh, sorry. Sorry, everyone, for hearing that. When someone steals my bananas, I get a little bananas myself.
Yeah,
but that's because of the topic we're going to be talking about today, Donkey Kong Country Returns. One of, if not the greatest 2D platformer in the Donkey Kong franchise. Oh my lord, I love this game. I have a lot of nostalgia with this game, and now Nintendo's releasing it.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad that they're finally deciding to port this, because before it was only stuck on the Wii and the 3DS, which I actually did play the 3DS version for this video. So if I do happen to pick up the port, then I'll have played all versions of Donkey Kong Country Returns.
That's awesome. For me, at least, I've only played the Wii version, which is the original, and I've got to say, it is such a good game. I haven't played the other versions of the game, which is unfortunate because I know they include more content, but what is there is just very solid foundation. But we should probably talk about what exactly it is.
Yeah, do you want to explain that?
Sure, why not? Donkey Kong Country Returns is the return of Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, with the party that they have known as 2D platforming. Trying to make a Diddy Party joke there, but I couldn't make it work. But
yeah, oh my god.
Basically, the Donkey Kong Country series was developed by Rare, the same guys who made Banjo-Kazooie back in the day, and
Diddy Kong
and Diddy Kong Racing. Diddy Racing? Oh my lord.
Diddy racist?
But Rare, they got bought up by Microsoft, so they were not making any more platformers for the Donkey Kong Country series, considering that Donkey Kong is a Nintendo IP. However, Nintendo decided in 2010 that they were going to cook, and cook they did, because they made the fourth entry into the Donkey Kong Country series, being Donkey Kong Country Returns, which released for the Wii, and eventually got a sequel called Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which also a phenomenal platformer, which I haven't played myself, but everything I've heard about it says, people are saying it's like one of the best games ever made.
I have.
It all started back with Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Yeah, I have played Tropical Freeze. It is probably my favorite Donkey Kong game, and I still really love Country Returns. I think it's great. I also have a lot of nostalgia for it. But there's just a level of sauce with Tropical Freeze that I really enjoy.
I want to play it, but it will never go on sale, for the love of God.
Yeah, but if you really should play it, though. It is a great game, great experience.
Hell yeah, I will eventually. But first we gotta talk about Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Yeah.
So basically, like the combat, the gameplay of this game is it's a standard 2D platformer where you play as Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong, and you can actually you can do the two-player mode of Donkey Kong Country Returns. It's one person plays as Diddy Kong and the other is Donkey Kong. But the idea is this game tried to utilize like the motion controls of the Wiimote. So like how you would play is that with your Wiimote, you would hold it horizontally, and I hated doing it because you would have to move with the D-pad on the Wiimote, unless you use the stick. And what you have to do is you have to like move around with that D-pad, and if you want to perform certain actions with Donkey Kong, you actually have to shake the remote or hold like certain buttons to do certain actions. And the thing is that I think this game is beautiful with its simplicity, because you only need like 6 buttons, 4 buttons on the D-pad for movement, and then the other 2 for like actions, being your 1 and 2 button. But they mastered how to like make this game simple with its control scheme so that anyone can play.
And that also goes for the 3DS version, but we can talk about like the 3DS differences later. But your basic move set for this game is pretty simple. You've got, obviously jump, and then you've got a various attack buttons with, or like various ways to attack. You can do a dash roll, you can slam the ground, you can like literally Donkey Kong down B, you can do that. And then you've got, your standard just jump on the enemies and stuff like that. And then you can also just throw stuff at them, which is really funny because you have a grab thing to grab like barrels and stuff, and then you throw them at enemies and they go explode, and it's like super funny.
Hell yeah. We should probably talk about like what the plot of the game is. It's really simple.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, yeah, what happens is
Like, what's the
that
premise?
Donkey Kong, he's sleeping, and then the volcano literally erupts, and he's still asleep. And then a bunch of like tiki dudes come out of the volcano, yoink his shit, and then he gets super angry, and then the game starts. That's it.
Bro wants his bananas back.
He wants the bananas.
But yeah, no. Really simple premise. With the game, it's just trying to defeat these tiki guys and get all of his bananas back. But that's the thing about Donkey Kong. They don't spend any time like on the plot or anything. They just want to get you right into the gameplay, because the gameplay is so solid. It is so good. It's so smooth.
It really is. Like, even on the 3DS, and like, this is no shot at the 3DS, but sometimes it can be a little janky with like movement and stuff, because it's got the little pad, like a circle pad thing, and it can be a little janky with that. But even on 3DS, it feels very smooth and responsive.
Exactly. I don't know. This game, like, for like a game that that revived the series, it did. I don't know. They nailed it. They fucking nailed it. I don't know any other way to put it.
I mean, that it literally has returns in the name. It was a great return to form. So.
Ahaha! I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha.
But.
Ooh, I see.
Yeah.
Pun master.
A very big reason, though, why this game just works is through like its level design. Like, it has some really, really good levels.
So the level design is fantastic. No, none of the levels feel the same. And if you've watched our other platformer videos, something that I will say time and time again is that good platformers to me are like when levels feel different. That's something I say a lot, but it's because I think it's true. When levels feel unique, I tend to appreciate them more.
Yeah. Especially like a few of my favorite ones have to be, I think, man, of course I can't remember the name of it now, but in the jungle world, there is a level where that is entirely just like you have to like run away from a bunch of spiders, and it's like a super action packed and like intense and stuff like that. Like, I really like that level. There's a level, one of my other favorites is in the factory world, where there's a like your entire thing is that you're in a silhouette, and then at the very end you pull the thing to, like, I think it's the intro level actually, and you pull like a thing at the end, and then you remove all the steam, so you're no longer in a silhouette. I thought that was super cool.
That is really cool. The silhouette levels are actually like something they took with Mario Wonder, in using them for level design. I think they're really sick. One of my favorite levels was it was in like the mountains with like all the fossils. The platforms would swing like back. Every single platform in that level would swing back and forth, and the challenge of the level would be that you have to time your jumps with the moving platforms, because not only are the platforms moving, but also your momentum is constantly changing because of the moving platforms. So you have to, like, I don't know, it's just you have to use good timing.
Yeah.
for
And
that level, and I very much appreciate it for that.
I would talk
Um,
more, but like a lot of my favorite levels are in the factory world. And that entire world is probably like, if I'm being for real, probably the best part of the game. There's this entire level where in the background as you're moving through it, you're literally building a giant gorilla mech like throughout the entire level. It's super cool.
oh, I know it's one you're talking about. Yeah, no, the factory world is also my favorite. It also has my favorite boss.
Hmm.
It literally has Robot Chicken
Yeah. Um,
from
before
popular
we,
TV show
yeah.
Robot Chicken.
Do you think they named Robot Chicken after the Robot Chicken boss from this game?
Doubt it. When did Robot Chicken come out? That's the
Hero. Let's
2005. Yeah, no, 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 no. They probably took inspiration from Robot Chicken. Who knows?
actually no. The makers of Robot Chicken looked into the future and they saw the peak that is the Robot Chicken boss from Donkey Kong Country Returns, and like they're like, holy shit, we've got to name our company after that Robot Chicken. We've got to. It
Oh
was
my
just
lord.
it was just that peak of a loss.
Speaking Actually, that's just a horrible transition. I was gonna say, we should talk about something I think is underrated about the game is its difficulty, because like myself when I play this game, I think that this game is hard.
It yeah, no, I agree. Like some of the levels are like very challenging. The so for a little bit of a context, each level has a few collectibles. You've got puzzle pieces and Kong letters, and if you get the four Kong letters, you will get Kong. And then if you get all the Kongs in a world, you unlock a temple level. And these temple levels are essentially just really, really difficult levels that if you beat all of them in the worlds, then you unlock the Banana Temple. Um, but no, yeah, the the temple levels are insanely hard. I remember there's this one, I don't know which world it is, but it is a temple level, and the whole thing is that the lava is just rising throughout the level, and you have to like be basically you have to be almost perfect with your movement and stuff like that, because if you aren't, then you're gonna die. And like I think for almost every temple level, besides maybe like a few, I lost around like 30 lives per one of those level. It was insane.
Yeah, no, they were difficult. Not only that, but I also feel like the main game is just like it has a very stark contrast in difficulty compared to like I want to say like Mario 2D
Yeah,
platformers. I
I
know as
mean,
a kid, oh my god, I couldn't get past a lot of the levels in the game, and so what the game would do, this is an in-game feature. What it would do is that it gives you like a recommended tutorial video that it will show you how to beat the level, and it'll be like a white Kong that shows you how to do the level. And if you let that tutorial video play all the way throughout, then it will then the entire level will just be counted as beat. I think they knew how hard the game was for children.
I remember as a kid that I the only time I ever had the White Kong used was, and it was, I think, the rocket level in the lava world. Kid me could just never was able to beat that level. Like it was that the lava world is pretty hard. But I do
No,
remember that
it's rough.
I did beat the game as a kid, and I think I only used White Kong like once.
Yeah, no, it's I as a kid, like this is when I was like 6. Of course, like when the game came out, I would like half of the levels. I just would use the White Kong like a video thing tutorial, because I just couldn't figure shit out, because I'm a dumb kid. I'm still getting used to video games, and pretty difficult 2D platformer for a child. So I'm honestly not gonna do the best. So when I first beat the game, I had the tutorial thing do the final boss for me, and I was like, yeah, I beat this game.
Yeah, I'm a gamer.
I'm a gamer.
I guess Kid
And
Me
then
was
like
just better at video games than you. That's crazy.
I want to say like 6 years later, I was like 12 or 13. I replayed the game, did not use White Kong once, and then that's when I like locked in. I was like, wow, this game is fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
Um,
I think that adds to it though. I think its difficulty really adds to like
yeah,
the game
'cause
itself because
I think,
you first.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think that that's a good thing to have because I feel like, especially for like a game that is gonna like grab a lot of like children like to play it. If it is like super hard for the people who are older, but the kids can't keep up, then it's a good thing to have because it's not like a false beat, like like, oh, you technically beat it. No, you beat it. It's just that you used White Kong, and that's all right. Like it doesn't like gatekeep you out of being
Unless you're over the age of like 10, then I will judge you.
Oh no, yeah, exactly. If you're over the age of 10, then you're a little bitch. But yeah, no,
Yep. Sorry,
exactly.
kiddos.
Yeah. Um, but again, like I just think that's a great thing to have because I don't think gatekeeping something out of like difficulty should be a good thing. I feel like that's like only in very rare cases would I be like, yeah, that's all right.
I mean, I think it's an alright thing. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, for kids, I see the benefit of it. Like, hell, I used it, but like as an adult, it's just like I hate the idea that like I can just beat the game by not doing anything. Like, I'm not the one participating to
Well,
complete the game. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, but it's also like it's not like it forces it on you. It's optional. Like you don't have to use Wycong. So I think that's why it's okay.
Yeah,
Because
no, that's fair enough.
if it's a kid struggling and they use it, then yeah, exactly, it's fair. But if you're an adult who's playing through and you're struggling, you don't have to use it. And if you do, then you're a bitch. It's that simple.
True. It is that simple.
But
I don't know. I think it's always going to be a controversial subject
Mhm.
just because it literally plays the game for you.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's ever going to be like a concise like yay or nay, is it good, yada yada. But I mean, at least it was an option that was there that it helped me. At least it helped me.
There's a
when I was
lot
a
of that
child.
stuff in like a 3D or not 3D in 2D platformers by Nintendo. Because Super Mario Bros. Wii had that with like I think you could have a Luigi thing do exactly that with like a tutorial video to show you how to beat the level if you're struggling.
But did it show you how? Did it like count it as beat?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's stupid.
Yeah,
Oh
but
god.
we've kind of been going on this for a while. Something I do want to bring up before we is like before we just completely leave levels is like the gimmick levels. This game has like 4 different types of gimmick levels. Um, I already brought up silhouette levels. Silhouette levels are essentially just it's entirely in shadow and you can only tell where you are because your red necktie will like glow red. And they are some of the coolest levels in the game, just like based off the aesthetic alone.
You know, those levels are really sick. You have to use like the silhouettes around you to like do your platforming, and it changes how you play the game. I love those
Yeah.
levels.
Yeah, and also the factory one has a Game and Watch reference in the background.
Ew.
No, it's cool. Listen, guy. I know you hate Game and Watch and Smash, as do I, but it's a pretty cool reference, especially for like 2010. Like I don't know if Smash,
Fine, I guess.
I don't know if Smash 4 had come out by at that point, so I don't think Game and Watch had even been in Smash. So like that was like a pretty deep cut reference, if so.
So Game & Watch has been in Smash ever since Melee.
He has? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, then it's not that deep cut, but still, cool reference.
Yeah. No, I get you. I get you. What else I was about to say? That what other levels do we have? The minecart levels, which those are fun. They're just the
Well,
level
type?
automatically moves. Say what?
Well, because there are 2 types of minecart levels. You've got the one where you're sitting in the minecart, and then you've got there's one where you're like on it like a surfboard, where you're riding on top of it.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Minecart levels are fun. They're also okay. Some of the later ones are also difficult because if you
Oh,
don't
no,
like do a
they're
precise jump, you are just kind of screwed.
dude. Okay, I have to rant real quickly. I am genuinely like surprised that this was in the game. There, in one of the minecart levels in the fourth world, there is a Kong letter that you have to get, and I am not kidding. When I say you have to do an almost pixel perfect jump in order to get it, because it is like right beside the crystals, and so if you jump too early, you hit the crystals, and then if you jump like very like almost like very too late, not even very too late, like if you jump like a smidgen, like a few pixels before you are able to, then you'll miss it. And it is like almost a near perfect, like pixel perfect jump. And it took me like 20 tries in order to get that O ladder. And I literally had to look up a video of like when am I supposed to jump for this? Like it is insane how that like I was like, why is that in this game? Like no kid is gonna be able to get that.
Yeah, I think I know what world you're talking about because I also did all the get all the Kongs for the temple levels because God, the temple levels are fun.
Yeah. And
Especially on
then
the yeah, you first.
yeah, I think yeah, but besides that, I think all the minecart levels are really fun and cool. But I cannot say the same for the rocket levels. I am a rocket level hater.
Yeah, it like it's like Flappy Bird but on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not the biggest fan of Flappy Bird. Uh-oh.
Stinky.
Stinky. Yeah, no. Okay, the Rocket Barrel levels, I think they're fun, like, in some of the boss fights. I think that they use them pretty well, but, like, some of the levels and, like, requirements to, like, at least get the Kong letters are just, like, oh my lord, they're
Well,
difficult.
okay. I will say there's also two types of rocket levels. You've got the vertical rocket levels and then
Oh, God.
sideways rocket levels.
Just,
Because
okay.
yeah, I just remember
Yeah.
that. But the only reason I bring that up is because I like the vertical rocket levels. I think there's only like two, but I really love those levels. I think the vertical ones are super fun. I'm not a big fan of the sideways rocket levels. I think they can be really annoying.
Yeah, no, those are annoying. I'm with you on that. What was I about to say, though? Yeah, the vertical ones are definitely better. I hate, like, losing momentum, like, trying to go down on, like, the rockets, and then I just die for it. Oh,
Yeah,
Lord.
and also getting the Kongs is also just super hard in those levels because you have to like you have to edge the fucking
You
rocket in
have
order.
to edge?
Yeah, you have to edge in a Donkey Kong game in order to get the letters. Sometimes it's insane, like of how precise you have to be for some of those.
Sign me up.
Yeah, this game is a 10 out of 10 because you can edge.
Dude, hell yeah. Where do I sign up?
You get the game. That's how you sign up.
True. Which is gonna be on Nintendo Switch soon. Please play this game. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. I love it.
Um,
But
but let's I guess like we can quickly talk about bosses too. Like, I'm gonna be honest, the bosses aren't really anything to write home about in this game besides the robot chicken. The robot chicken's really good, but I'm just gonna be honest. A lot of the bosses are pretty simple and easy. Like,
I like them though. I like them a lot.
no, I like them too. I like them too. It's just this is someone who has played Tropical Freeze. The Tropical Freeze bosses are so good. Like those bosses are amazing, and I do really hope you play that because the bosses alone are just such an improvement over this game. And
I
that's not
I will play it eventually, but
yeah,
I
and
don't
that's
think we should also discredit any of the bosses
no, I'm
from
not.
Punch
I'm not. I'm
Returns.
not saying that. I still like the bosses in this game. They're very like at least to me they're iconic because like I remember every boss from this game because like my personal favorite, obviously were the robot chicken, but you've got the weird like dinosaur dude in the first world, and then you've got like it's like Monster Hunter with speciation. You've got him in the fossil world too.
Yeah.
And then you've got the bird that you throw bombs at.
Oh,
Um,
the is it? Oh yeah, isn't that it's literally called Stew, like SSTU. I know which one you're talking about. That one's fun. I like the gimmick of that one, but honestly, like besides Robot Chicken, which it's called Colonel Pluck, by the way, we just keep calling it Robot Chicken.
yeah,
I
because it's
love
funny.
Mole Miner Max.
Oh, Mole Miner Max is like they don't tell you the name, so I'm assuming you just like looked this up on a wiki. But
Oh yeah,
mole The mold train level is really fun too. Like, I really love the fact that like you're not really even fighting the boss. You're more so just like trying to get close to him, and then when you get to the end, it's like, oh, this guy's like, oh, easy. No wonder he was running away the whole time.
Yeah.
Because it like the
No.
reason I
Yeah.
really love that one is because it not only is it a boss fight, but it's a level on top of a boss fight.
That is true. That is true. And God, I love it when levels get incorporated into boss fights. I think it's so sick, especially in 2D platformers.
Uh huh. But yeah,
Um,
no, I think the reason the robot chicken ones is that because like I will say this, most of the bosses in this game, besides like Robot Chicken and the final boss, pretty easy. Like I don't think that's controversial to say, would
no,
you?
that's not controversial.
Yeah, like, and I love them, but they're pretty easy. But the Robot Chicken one's like actually like kind of difficult, and especially if you don't know like how to avoid his attacks and stuff. And he has like a super sick like phase two where once you break his mech, he'll then like he'll transition to like using like an Eggman hovercraft sort of thing.
It's Blasted Hedgehog.
That's blasted hedgehog. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
I think that's funny. I want. Do you think that might have been like a reference? Like, cause
maybe
cause he is a chicken and he uses like egg robots. Like that. I mean, like in thinking about it, that could have been a reference.
that could be a reference. You're right. Who knows? That would be. That's actually fun to think about. That could be a really cool reference if that is
Yeah.
like an actual
Um.
reference to
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic. Yeah, he's mogging. Um. But I think we do like. Besides our, I think we were both in agreement that the chicken boss is the best. Um. But I would like to talk about the worlds that these bosses like
Oh god, yeah.
are in. Um
What's your
and
favorite one? I'm curious.
I mean I've kind of already spoiled it. It's the factory level. I think
Yeah,
every
that's
level
fair.
in that one is like super cool. It's also got a really cool gimmick where you have to there are 3 levels near the end of it. You have to beat the levels, but if you don't, you have to find a red button in each level, and if you don't, then you have to like replay it. But if you once you get all those red buttons, you get a rocket. Like you literally like a rocket comes out of like a thing in the on the map, and then that's how you get to the boss, and then that's how you also kind of get to like the top of the volcano, which is where you need to go in order to uh beat the game. But you have to do that. And it's like such a cool way like of how the levels are interacting with the map, and also it's just got great levels like on top of it. There's a level in the factory world that is literally like a sort of like a, it's not a rhythm game, but it's a rhythm based level where like like the giant like hammers will hit basically drums, and you have to like time your movements with those drum hits. That one's super cool. um I really like the temple level in this one because it's like the one in the this one you have to um I'm pretty sure you move on like a conveyor belt, and you have to like hit these switches the whole time, and it's like a really cool like challenge of speed and patience. Like it's that like that one as well. Like just overall, I think the factory level is like probably the best level world in the game. The factory world is just so well done. All of its levels are great, and I love the gimmick with the map.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I think the factory level is like probably my favorite or second favorite. And then weird opinion, but I actually love the beach world.
The beach world's also really cool. I love that. I honestly every world in this game is great.
Yeah,
But
there's not a miss. There really is not a miss.
I really, yeah, the only one I could like see an argument for is World 4 because it does like I think that world is like almost entirely gimmick levels with minecarts and rockets, but it's still a really good world.
Mining away.
Anyway,
I
I
don't know
don't
what
know
to
what
mine.
to
Yeah,
mine. I'll
okay.
mine this anyway in my
In my
Minecraft.
Minecraft house. So
So
beautiful.
beautiful, great
Yeah,
stuff.
no, the cave is probably my least favorite as well. But even then, like I still have a lot of fun with like a lot of the levels.
Mhm.
And plus, with that, we get Mole Miner Max. Let's
Mole
go.
Miner Max, the Triple M himself.
True. Bro, some would say he's mind maxing. As a child, he yearned for the mines.
As a child, he yearned for the mines. Get out! That
Oh,
like that movie is gonna be a trip.
it's gonna be peak. Don't worry about it. But yeah, no. I mean, I think we're about getting to that time. I think starting with our closing statements a little bit about the game. I think we're getting to that time.
Well,
Connor, would you like to go or?
yeah. I was wanting to talk about like the version differences, but there's not real like as someone who played 3DS, the only difference is that there's a ninth world if you beat all the temple levels. It's a fun world. It's really good, but um I think we can move on to closing thoughts now. So firstly, I would like to say this game's great. I think it's a great return form for Donkey Kong. And I know that I really enjoyed it, and I know Guy really enjoys it. And I am really glad.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm glad they're porting it. But what I would like to say is that I know earlier in this video, you said that it like revived the series, which is like kind of true and also kind of not true because there has not been a like if we're going off like purely a new Donkey Kong Country game, we haven't gotten a new Donkey Kong Country game in 10 years.
That's
Um
insane.
yeah, the latest Donkey Kong Country game that came out was Tropical Freeze in 2014 on the Wii U, and then in 2018 it got a port to Switch, and then that's what's happening now. Like I really think that Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze are some of the best platformers Nintendo has put out, and I just would love to see them, explore more with the franchise, and like I would love to see another Donkey Kong Country game come out. Especially since it's been so long since we've gotten a new one. Um, I think it would just like be very worth it because I know people like these games. Like everyone loves Tropical Freeze, and I know a lot of people like this game too. Um, I just Nintendo, please make a new one for Switch 2 or whatever the Switch successor is gonna be. Like, please, like you're making Metroid Prime 4. We're finally getting Metroid Prime 4, so there's hope.
I mean, fun fact: Donkey Kong Country Returns was made by the same studio who made Metroid Prime Remastered and is making Metroid Prime 4. So
There's
who
hope.
knows? There is hope.
Yeah, it's like Charlie Day in Always Sunny with that like conspiracy theory board of like the studio that made the remaster for Metroid Prime made Metroid Prime 4, which means that they're going to make a Donkey Kong Country remaster. It's all connected.
Of course. But
Well, yeah,
getting back into
that's all for me.
what's up?
I was gonna say that's all for me. Play the game; it's really fun. Especially the port when it comes out in January, I think. But yeah, Guy, I would like to hear your closing thoughts now.
Yes, of course. So Donkey Kong Country um Returns is one of the first video games I've ever played actually. Because I was like 6 when I got a Wii, and of course the first game that my parents got for me on it was Donkey Kong Country, because when I went over to my cousin's house, we would play it on her Wii all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, oh yeah, we know what to get him for Christmas. And they were right to do so, because oh my god, I fell in love with this game. It's one of the best games I've ever played, like, in general. I think it nails everything it sets out to do. I can't believe how good of an experience I had as a kid, and also like a few years ago when I played it, like how good of an experience I also had with it again. I don't know. I feel like this game will forever remain timeless, but it's just hard to come by nowadays. I mean, we're getting the remaster on Switch, thank God, but that's going to be at full price, I'm pretty sure. And hell, I just want Donkey Kong to like be revived again, because they knocked it out of the park with this game. They really did. And from
Yeah.
what I hear of Tropical Freeze, they did it even more. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
who
There's just a
knows?
lot of potential with this series, and I just want Nintendo to know that there are people out there who will support it, and we
Yeah.
at Fetch Quest will support it.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe sometime soon you can play Tropical Freeze, and then we could do a video on it, and that'll get me to replay the game because I really want to replay that game. It's so fun.
Oh yeah, man, that's what's up.
But
But yeah,
I think that is gonna do it for our video on Donkey Kong. Um, as we said, please play this game. It's great. But with that being said, we have been Fetch Quest. If you like this content or you like other content like this, please leave a like on the video. We very much appreciate it. And
comment down below what your favorite part about Donkey Kong Country Returns is, and are you excited for the remaster coming soon on Switch?
yeah, and be like Donkey Kong and punch that subscribe button so hard that your hand turns red.
Real. With that
But
being
with
said,
that,
guys,
yep.
thank y'all so much for watching today's episode. We've been Fetch Quest, and this has been our episode on Donkey Kong Country Returns. Thank you very much. See you later.
Goodbye. Now, guy, let's go. We've got to go kill those tiki dudes and get our bananas back.